Elite Gaming.
What's up guys, it's Andrew at EliteGamingHQ, and I figured, why not? Let's do a whole series on Apex Legends benchmarks. I mean, because right now, it's my favorite game to play, and I'm really terrible at it, but I'll get good at it. It's not like PUBG, which is something I was good at. This game has so much more movement and so much more to it, so it's going to take a while to adjust. But I figured, you know, with all the other videos I do, like the builds of the month, the game deals, like the free games, why not do, you know, 13 more videos or something added to my plate. Okay, so anyway, all jokes aside, today's test will be on the GTX 1050. And actually, I was really looking forward to this test because a lot of the PCs that I sell on the budget end of my site have the GTX 1050 in them. So I wanted to see how it would do with such a new game, and a game that's actually kind of hard to run. But also, I will be testing the 1050 Ti, the 1060, the 1080, the RTX 2060, the RTX 2080, the RTX 2080 Ti, maybe even the 1070, I have one of them. So I'm going to do a bunch of these, but today we're going to start with the 1050. We'll be testing with a single fan EVGA model, which this is actually a good model for this card because all you really need is a single fan. It doesn't have any outside connector for power, so more or less it's running about 75 watts, give or take, off the PCI rail itself. So if you have a computer with this card, they run really cool and really efficient. Alright, so let's take a look at it in my beast PC. For all the specs of my PC, the list will be in the description below. If you just drop down the menu, you'll see at the very bottom I have all my specs listed there. But basically what we're running is a Ryzen 2700X on liquid with 16 gigabytes of TridentZ 3000. And just to add in, it was installed into an SSD. That's not really going to help our performance, but it might help our loads or something like that a little bit. So if you like this sort of thing, be sure to turn the notifications on, subscribe. I did a bunch of these with PUBG, and I really like doing it, so yeah, let me know in the comments below by typing in Notification Squad. And thanks for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it. So to do the test, I will be recording with Fraps to grab my FPS. We'll be running it over about 300 seconds, but at the same time, I waited till it was done and recorded gameplay with MSI Afterburner up with a couple vitals there. So you will be getting the FPS, but you won't be getting the FPS that you will be seeing with the vitals because I didn't want to slow down the FPS by running Shadowplay at the same time. So the numbers will correlate to what you're seeing, but it won't be done at the same time. And I know some people in the comments below, they will ask that. So I just had to put that out there. Okay, so let's jump in on the lowest setting in 1080p and take a look. Alright, so now that we're in, as you see, the lowest settings are everything on low. We're in 1080p. I thought about testing 720p, but honestly, you can get a decent looking game and keep it at 1080p with this. But this is the low, and when I did the benchmark, we end up getting an average of 83.7 FPS and a max of 145. Now even in low, our min dropped down to 59, but it wasn't such a big deal. It didn't really give me too many spikes or anything like that. But this is in low, and I really didn't think it looked too good. So next, let's look at our medium settings. And I call this medium, but it's not really. So basically what we did was toggle everything over just a little bit and see what we got. The game looks a lot better in this setting, but we got an average of 50 FPS, a max of 68. Sometimes it dropped down to 38 FPS. So I don't really know what that's about. I mean, I think this game, like even on the higher end cards that I was playing on, the game actually drops down. It has spikes here and there, but it's never that noticeable. But the thing is, I wanted to get this game with the 1050 to run at least 60 FPS. So here's the settings here. If you go and check this out, I actually toggled a couple settings here and I found a sweet spot. I found a spot in which it's going to go above 60 and it might drop down to 58 or so. But the thing about it is, if you lock your FPS at 60 and run with these settings here, with the GTX 1050, you will be able to get solid 60 the whole game time. And that actually is a pretty good gaming experience. So even though the GTX 1050 is limited by its video RAM, and it's an older card because it's, you know, a 10,000 generation, there's actually no replacement in the 20,000 generation yet. Even though all that, you can still play this game with it, which is great. And if you you're new to the channel, you don't know, I've been in the process of doing this review of this Digital Storm PC, which had integrated graphics from a Ryzen processor. This card right here is leaps and bounds ahead of that. So the FPS that you're getting with the GTX 1050 is more than you're going to get with the $699 Digital Storm Vanquish 7. So that's something to be said. You might be able to play in 30 FPS with that computer. Maybe not. We'll know when it finally comes in and I test it and we break it down and we compare it to some of the other computers or other video cards that I want to test it against. But nevertheless, this was the test here. I wanted to show it to you guys. Now normally I would do across many resolutions, but there's really no point with this card. Maybe we'll try 1440p with the GTX 1060. The 1050 Ti, it's going to be some of the same of 1080p, but we'll also be able to stretch our legs a little more with the settings. But this is going to be a quick one because it's kind of limited. And like I said, I don't want to go down to 720p. Nobody wants to play in 720p. It's just going to look like trash. So I wish this game was more optimized like something like Overwatch where anybody can run it. But then again, the art style in this game is so intense and so graphically demanding that it's like I kind of don't wish that at the same time. I just would like to see more people be able to entry level get into this game because it's not as easy as something like Fortnite. But anyway, that being said, these are the tests. This is the benchmarks here. I just wanted to show you guys. I appreciate all the support. Be sure to subscribe, turn notifications on, and look out for the next video because the next one will probably be the GTX 1060 or the 1050 Ti. I'm not exactly sure, but they're going to be coming out periodically. Within the next month, I should have all of them done. So I'll catch you on the next one. My name is Andrew, and this is Elite Gaming HQ. Thanks for watching, guys.
Optics here. Sniper. Taking a moment to recharge.